story. Each year you can read this hopeful poem story. This hopeful poem story to me. Yeah, but
that is about as good as it's gonna get.
No one's gonna contradict you.
Nope. And anything that didn't sound like we might not like to sound.
I found these in the ladies' room, I've gone around when people are still eating, and nobody's claiming them, I just wanted to.
Let's put them on the counter where someone can grab them.
Yeah.
Put them on the front reception counter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I need to
because
go get my.
I don't know if everyone over there is coming over here.
You need to go.
I mean, an announcement should be made at some point.
Oh, in there, do you wanna put it on the counter?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Did my wife tell you you have a fortune on your windshield?
Yes.
Okay. Shelley,
Yes.
did you have a fortune on your windshield?
A fortune on my windshield?
Eggs, you have eggs on your windshield.
Oh, okay, yes, a fortune, yes.
Yes,
So it's a fortune on their windshield.
I mean, I realize my husband's here.
Like, he'll eventually come over. But I'm manspreading.
I see that.
You gotta let the heat out, you're wearing a snuggie.
Is there somebody who would hand out one of these to everybody? It's on the back pew where the greeters sit. Everybody's gonna need one of these for the Viahafta.
Good game, good game. Actually, I'll sit over here, so Brad can sit next to me.
Okay.
You know, because he's being a sweet.
Well, and he was bartending and blah.
I'm never invited to sing. She said, why aren't you singing on that? I was like, I'm never invited.
I was excited to be invited this day. You're welcome to jump up there. So that part where there's three parts, right? Where there's like Bishmillah, do-do-do-do-do. So there's three different voices.
Right.
The original that we saw, that we printed, that was printed out, was written with three voices, but the three voices didn't correspond.
Sorry, what?
And so, like, one time I'd be like,
I can't imagine that that's actually the truth.
it's switched, and so we're like, and so I had to go through and listen to it, relabel everything as correct as possible.
Brandon, you look lovely.
I did the rewrite it. So.
Actually, I really love that.
I'm not in costume, but I am not. I guess I could.
Are you dressed as one of the grandkids? Are you?
Okay, I'm gonna scoot over here where Brad gets back.
Said you had my name word.
But I just want to point out over here.
Nice song.
Not just appropriate, but.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't have to shake down.
I had a fellowship at Huntsville Space Flight Center. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that's not really a costume, is it?
Yeah, it is a costume, but yes, this is.
Well, like it was real people.
It was real people.
Is Mark able to join us today?
No.
I'm sorry.
I mean, he was visiting his mom, who just got got back yesterday, just sort of, and we're leaving again on
Okay,
Sunday,
good.
so it's like,
We're good.
he's, yeah, he doesn't like costumes, so he would be here.
Costume, what costume?
I used to have a button for him that said, "This is my costume." So later, I wasn't sure what it was.
And not during the regular. There is a story about it.
Okay. So, Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Chag Purim Sameach, Happy Purim, and Shabbat Shalom. So, lots going on tonight. I hope that as you came in, you might have received this sheet that says, "Have to teach your children," because we're going to need that for the service. And lots of things happening tonight. So Shabbat Shalom, I'm Rabbi Bat Sheva Akelin, in case you couldn't tell because of my costume. I'm interim rabbi here this year at Congregation Ahavat Beth Israel. And welcome to our Shabbat evening service. Especially welcome to those who are joining us virtually. We are a diverse community that encompasses a range of backgrounds and experiences. Welcome to all those who are joining us virtually. We are using Mishkan Tefillah, which looks like this, and it's in the back bookcases as you come in. When I invite you to stand, please do so as you are comfortable in doing so. Sometimes these costumes are awkward or heavy, so feel free to remain seated if you need to remain seated. And if once you stand up, you realize, oh, I didn't sign up for all that, you need to be seated, please be seated. I will thank all of our participants at the end of the service. So, listen to the instructions very carefully. If it has a battery and it makes a noise, please silence it, mute it, turn it off, however you want it to prevent it from making a noise during services. If it has a battery and it makes a noise, please be sure and silence, mute, turn off, whatever. Obviously, it's Purim, so if there are other things that you have that make noise, you better come on to them. Good job. Excellently done. Okay, we're going to start on page 138. Page 138 with Lecha Dodi, and we're going to start with verse 1. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmianu el meyuchan Adonai echad l'shemo echad l'shem ultiferet v'litila Lecha Dodi l'grakala Lecha Dodi l'grakala Lecha Dodi l'grakala P'nei Shabbat Mikabala Mikdash melech ir melucha U'mitzehi mitoch ha'hafecha Me'akrav lach shevet be'emek habacha Ve'ruach hamol alayachem la Lecha Dodi l'grakala Lecha to page 263. Page 263. Yikra v'yitkada shonei rabba Yama divrach yirtei v'yamlik malchutei V'chaye kodom yom echad U'chaye tivlo beit Yisrael Ba'gala ba'gala U'bizman karim V'yimeru amen Yehi shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam Yishtabach, V'yipar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitalev, V'yitalal, Shnei Kudsha B'richu, Le'ela Mikol Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Damirat Me'alma, V'yimeru, Amen. Please rise, page 264 for the Baruch Hu. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amevorach. Baruch Adonai, Amevorach, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai, Amevorach, Le'olam va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la. Please be seated. We're going to read to page 265 together in the English. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Barachim. Page 267, and make sure that if you don't have a copy of the handout for the song, that you're sharing with somebody who does have it. Boy, do we have lots of unicorns today. Oh my goodness. Okay, so somebody who doesn't have one of these, raise your hand so that somebody who does, we can share. Somebody who does not have one, raise your hand so that we can arrange for you to be able to share. Because this I've learned in 9 months of being with you, you're very good at sharing. You're very, very good at sharing. Okay. I now invite you to rise for the watchword of our faith, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We continue on page 270. Page 270. Ya ba bim bidi bam, ya ba bim bam, ya ba bim bidi bam, ya ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam. Mi kamo ka bali madonna, mi kamo ka negar bakodesh. No rati loto sepele, no rati loto sepele. Ya ba bim bidi ba, ya ba bim bam, ya ba bim bidi ba, ya ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam. Ma'ale kuteta rahu banecha, okei ayamite Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imlok le'olam ha'ed. Ya ba bim bidi ba, ya ba bim bam, ya ba bim bidi ba, ya ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam. Ay 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 ay, ya ba bim bam. Page 271. I love that our evening service acknowledges that things can be scary in this world, and part of that is a prayer asking God to protect us from those things that are scary in the world. Please join me in the middle of page 271. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forward. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. And at the at the bottom of page 272 together, those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. The people that hallow Shabbat will delight in your goodness. For being pleased with the seventh day, you hallowed it as the most precious of days, drawing our attention to the work of creation. We continue now actually individually through the Amidah, the prayer that is said while standing. And I'm going to invite everyone to please stand who's comfortable in doing so. We're going to start on page 273 individually and end on page 283 again individually. Whatever prayer on the page you would like, or the prayer that is in your heart. And when you feel that you have finished your prayers for tonight, I invite you to please be seated. Page 285. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Amen. We offer thanks now for all the gifts and blessings that we enjoy for our celebrations and simchas. I'd like to invite anyone in the congregation who is celebrating or who has something that they are especially grateful for to share their joy and thanksgiving with our community. Anastasia, can I share your amazing news? Is it okay? Can I share? That's a yes? Tell everybody. Anastasia became a naturalized citizen today. Mazal tov, congratulations. We're so happy for you. Big kisses and hugs from all of us to you. Okay, so anybody over here have something that they want to point out? Yes, Reba.
Greg and I have a new granddaughter.
Oh, yes, a new grandchild. Mazal tov, congratulations. That's delightful. Yes, Becky.
And my granddaughter, who is part of the Steelhead Girls hockey team, won the regional championship and are on their way to the national level.
Woo! Let's hear it for hockey team, granddaughter's hockey team going to national championship. That is pretty
And
cool.
there are 3 Jewish girls on the team.
3 Jewish girls on the team. Well, then it's a good thing that we're in the process of forming a hockey team to go to the Maccabia in Chicago this summer of Jewish kids. It's the Flying Latkes, is that what it's called? So between us and Ketchum, I think we've got enough kids for a co-ed hockey team. So we're really excited. Anyone else? Okay. Anyone here? Okay, yes.
2 good things, both for my daughter-in-law. The first one is she got a job offer as an assistant professor at SUNY Westbury.
Woo!
And the next day, today, she got an interview at Caltech.
Woo! So we got possibilities there.
I think in a world that only one person can be a professor at a time in my family, because she'll start after Randall stops.
Well, of course, that's how that works. Yes.
I flew off to Chicago and met my little nephew.
And how is little Theodore?
Oh, he's doing quite well.
I'm sorry?
He didn't take one look at me and start screaming, so that's it.
Okay. Anyone else have something that they would like to celebrate today? Okay, there was a lot to celebrate today. For all these things, Eternal One, we say, Modim anachnu lach, we give thanks to you, source of all. May we go from strength to strength. And may we always offer our abundant thanks for your many blessings along the way. And let us say, Amen. We think of those who are ailing or in care at this time, and I'm about to ask for the names of people within our congregation or friends of the congregation who are in need of healing.
Richard Cordes and Salon Shabbat.
Sabrina Vogel,
Joanne Jenkins.
Josette Malloy, and continued healing for Mark Travis.
Sandra Lee Wynn and Martha Hickson.
Dave House and Lisa Herzig.
Chris Strader, Donna Cover.
Tom Allen.
Cheryl Robinson.
Mary Mokel.
Adrian Newman.
Andrea Yates.
I invite those who are joining us virtually to name those that they are thinking of for healing at this time. To those names, I add Sheila McLean, Ginger Schulman, Simon Rosenblatt, Harav Elka Chana Bat Leah, Harav Ariel Yehudit Bat Aviva. Page 371, and you'll find the prayer that we say for those who are in need of healing. In case you hadn't figured it out, we're celebrating Purim tonight. You know, it might not have been obvious to some because, you know, I hear that the folks in Boise wear all sorts of outlandish things. So there are 4 mitzvot for Purim, and the first one is reading the book of Esther. The second one is having a festive meal. The third one is giving gifts to each other. And the fourth one is giving gifts to the poor. So for those of us who came early enough for our catered dinner, you had that festive meal. It was pretty festive. You guys looked like you were having a good time. Plus we had, you know, it was a double festive because it was also Pi Day. And I hope that you gave gifts to each other. And I would encourage you to give gifts to the poor, always. And we're going to not read the book itself, but I wanted to show you the Megillat Esther, the scroll of Esther, that belongs to Cabby.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I found it in the ark. Everybody was like, so I'll get the scroll of Esther, and they were like, what scroll of Esther? So, you guys have a scroll of Esther. I'm showing it to all of you now. You'll notice that unlike it is written on parchment, it is handwritten. You'll notice, and in this one is actually, the pieces of parchment are sewn together. You'll notice that it's not on the wooden rollers that a Torah scroll is on, so those are called atzeh. Each one is called an Eitz Chaim, a tree of life. And you'll notice that this one is not decorated. Now, with a Torah, the things that you can do with the scroll are very, very limited because it has to be a certain number of lines and it has to be a certain look, and you can't put any ornamentation in it, and you can't put any vowels or anything else in it. But as Megillat Esther, that's a whole different thing. So there are scrolls of Esther that are illuminated. There are scrolls of Esther that are that have all sorts of things drawn into them, or they're vocalized, they've got vowels, etc. I'm just going to read the very, very first verse so that you know that you've heard even just a little teeny bit of the book of Esther. Vayehi bimei Achashverosh hu Achashverosh hamolech mehodu ve'ad Kush. It was in the days of King Ahasuerus, that King Ahasuerus, who ruled over from India until Kush, Sheva ve'esrim umea medina, 127 countries. So, and then it goes into his very big party and everything else. And some of you were with me today as we read through the entirety of the book of Esther, and it was kind of fun. It is definitely an NC-17 book. For those of you who don't agree, we can have a discussion later out of the hearing of all the children. So, it is typical for Purim to play around a little bit with telling the story. So we are going to do that. Here's the thing. That's not the thing. There we go. That's better. We're going to do a couple of things that tell the story. I have to thank my colleague, Rabbi Sarah Mason Barkin, who sent me the V'ahavta that we sang, as well as the song that three of us are about to sing. I'm going to call up my Bohemian Rhapsody singers. That's okay, you like feathers. We're not ready.
We're not ready.
We're just hearing
the tune.
Yeah, well, this is a very fast song, and if we don't slow it down, we are in such trouble. Back in Shushan life, it was no fantasy. King's parties and drinking, full escape from reality. He said to Vashti, "Come dance so we all can see." She said, "No, no, boy, that is indecency." King said, "Easy go." She said, "Bye." King said, "Whoa, I'll need a new queen now. Have those babes parade for me, for me." Morty, an honest man, put his niece in the harem, changed her name and religion. Esther, life had just begun, but now she's crowned in Vashti's day. Esther, Jewish. Sends shivers down our spine, Jewish hatred all the time. Amen. You've got to bow, gotta get down on the ground and kiss my ring. Morning, he said no. Now Haman says no. All Jews will wish they'd never been born at all.
Carol's supposed to turn this off.
Morning knows Esther is a Jewish queen. Ashtaroth, he really knows nothing. Esther, can you tell him who you really are?
I am Jewish.
You are Jewish.
I am Jewish.
You are Jewish.
I am Jewish.
You
and
are-
afraid.
You must be brave.
Just a
I'm
poor
a
girl.
girl in a queen's clothing.
You're just a poor girl and a queen sweet. Save the Jewish flesh from this monstrosity. Here's the plan, Esther, go to the king's room, then you tell him.
That you are a Jew.
Esther, go, tell the king.
That you are a Jew.
Tell the king,
That
tell
you
the
are a
king.
Tell
Tell
them
the
you're a
truth.
Jew. Tell them you're a Jew. Tell them you're a Jew.
No. Uncle Morty, he says you must tell him so.
And so
She went through a banquet and the Jews were free. We're free. We're free. Haman's blood went arise for he died. Jews were saved, Esther made old Haman cry. Oh, Morty, where's the king now, oh, Morty? Now today we believe in God.
Just put my tongue a little bit.
Dr. Seuss Pormspiel by Dana Baruch and Robbie Sherwin, and if I could have all my readers come forth.
Come on, Evan.
Okay, are we at our correct time? Okay. Okay, we're feeling strong? Feeling good? Okay. Shema, everyone, and hear us well, for now is the story of Purim to tell. It took place in Shushan so long, long ago. Now off to Persia we all will go.
In this beautiful kingdom ruled a king with no brain. Who'd think such a thing? He spent all his days and his nights having fun, parading his wealth in the warm Persian sun.
A queen named Vashti was his royal wife. She promised to love him all of her life. She promised, that is, until he did ask for her to perform an unthinkable task.
At his grandest of parties, the king did command Queen Vashti dance for royal men of the land. I am not your servant, and dance I will not. Vashti refused the king's sexist plot.
For Vashti, you see, was not known as a fibber. She was, in fact, history's first woman's liver. Vashti was banished. Away she did go. Where did she go? That we do not know.
In this fair kingdom lived also the Jews, who could not practice the religion they choose. No Torah, no challah, no matzo ball soup for a villain named Haman.
Bow down to me now, cruel Haman. Say, for I am an important man of the day. I'm the king's right-hand man. I rule all that I see. If you don't bow down now, you will cease to be.
Meanwhile, back at the palace grand, an announcement went out throughout the land, a new queen to be chosen in an unusual way, in a beauty contest held the very next day.
All the maidens of the land were forced to appear from near and from far, and from far and from near. One such maiden had brains and had grace. Esther was her name, such a pretty face.
Encouraged by her uncle, or was it a cousin, Mordecai? I beg you, dear Esther, this you must try. With your brains and your beauty, you he would choose. Go, 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 comb your hair, wear nice shoes.
Besides that, my dear, with your grace and your charm, you will blow them away. You'll be on King Ahasuerus's arm. Unsure of herself, but willing to go, because she loved her uncle so, she entered the contest, but said, Uncle dear, promise me that you'll always stay near.
The contest was held. They came one and all, and Esther, of course, was the queen of the ball. Though Ahasuerus chose her, and she was now queen, there was one rotten rule she had not foreseen.
Under penalty of death, she had to obey the following rule in an unbending way. Her new husband commanded she could only see him when he chose to see her, and on his whim.
So now, back to Haman. That crusty fellow. At the top of his lungs he continued to bellow, bow down, now I command, or great harm will come to you in this land.
Mordecai of Kars refused to obey. I vow only to God to my last dying day. Haman's face turned red with anger and hate. I'll get you, my pretty, if it's the last breath I take.
Mordecai turned his back, and others did follow. As for Haman, well, his pride he had to swallow. That Jew, Mordecai, has ruined my heinous plot. Because of this affront, I will have to draw lots. The straw that I pick, the one that comes nigh, is the day that the Jews of Persia will die.
Into his three-cornered hat he did cast all the dates, the future, the past. The lot that he picked was the 13th of Adar. Make ready the gallows. Adar is not far.
Right after Haman, Mordecai to see Queen Esther. At the palace gate, 2 guards witch plotting to kill King Ahasuerus.
Brave Morty protected his king and his land by revealing the plot to the palace grand. His loyalty and his brains gave him the upper hand.
The king in his chamber that evening did read of Mordecai's loyalty in the book of good deeds. With the smallest of brains, the king thinked and he thinked, who is this Mordecai who saved me from the brink? Who is this man who foiled the guard's plan? I must reward him. Send for Haman.
A question to Haman. Ahasuerus would pose, how should I honor a man who has been on his toes, who has saved my kingdom through heroic deeds, without a single thought to his own needs?
Haman, thinking this hero was he, for saving the kingdom from the Jews for the king, pompously swelled with excitement and greed. He knew the king would his words heed.
I think, my dear king, no reward is too great. Give him diamonds and jewels, a house by the lake, fabulous clothing, and all of the best. Let him ride the king's horse on your next birthday fest.
Make it so, dear Haman. Royal right-hand man, bring forth Mordecai the Jew. This is my command. Instruct all my tailors, my jewelers, my builders, to spare no shekels, no rubles, or guilders. Call all the king's horses and all the king's men to honor this Jew again and again.
Haman, astounded, speechless at best, felt his anger spread from his feet to his chest. Could it be that this man who refused to bow down must now be honored all through the town?
Seizing the moment, the opportunity here, Mordecai to Esther did appear, using his wits and oh, so clever brain. Morty made history, now Esther has fame.
You must risk your life and go to the king and tell him about this heinous thing. That Haman is planning the Jews will all die. You must go, brave Esther. This you must try.
But cousin, or uncle, she said, trembling with fear, without his permission I cannot go near. It could be my life, I am so afraid. But Morty replied, you can do this, babe. Use your brains and your charm and your prettiest skirt and your shade of pudding. What could that hurt?
So Esther swallowed her fear, and she calmed her nerves. She went after this task with vim and with verve.
At a party given that very same night, she walked into the banquet trembling with fright. Although shocked to see her, the king did beckon. I'll see her, it's fine, I reckon.
Dear husband, she said, I've gotten some news, so horribly horrible that I did choose to come unsummoned to be by your side. You must listen to me. After all, I'm your bride.
Risking her life, Esther told him the story of Haman's evil authority. Esther, still trembling, explained to her mate, my lord, at the risk of sealing my fate, I must tell you something that to you may be news. Someone is planning to kill all the Jews.
This includes Mordecai and all of his kin, and in this category you must put me in. For you see, I am Jewish, but so loyal to you. Please don't hurt my people. Please don't hurt the Jews. I fear my husband. Unless you act with your heart, I too will die on the 13th of Adar.
Thinking the thought, a king would sure think that his loyal wife deserveth a mink. He called for his henchman, his number 2, to question again what he should do in order to save his wife and her kin. Haman, of course, slunk right in. Esther, dear Esther, tell Haman. My dear, don't be afraid. Tell him, my dear.
Okay, here goes nothing, said Esther inside. She looked straight at Haman and summoned replied.
Last one.
You wicked, wicked man, how dare you pretend that you are loyal, my king, to the end. You, who did plot to destroy all the Jews, also will kill me, whom the king did choose. For I, too, am Jewish, you hateful old goot.
Turn around, said the king, I'll give you the boot. I'll sentence you now to the gallows you built. Not a single drop of Jewish blood shall be spilt. Pack up your belongings, but don't go far. On the gallows you'll be swinging on the 13th of Adar. The moral of the story, everyone you now know, is to honor God and all people wherever you go, to stand up and speak out for all that is right. And to you, Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom, Laila Tov, and good night. So exciting. We continue now on page 586 in the middle of the page. We begin to conclude the service, and I invite all of you to please stand. Aleinu l'shabeach v'tov hakol v'teiknu aleinu sefer Bereshit shelo asam kinuyei ha'ratzon v'lo asam aleinu mishkachot ha'adamah shelo samech alkeinu b'rahem v'gor aleinu k'kol ha'onam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachim u'modim l'fnei those whose death is more recent, and those who died at this season in years past. We recall Alan Salzberg, Linda Tell, Myrna Herman, Pam Human, Lee Edge, Perry Packer, Audrey Roberts Kling, Paul Frank, Karen Schneider, Max Garcia, Donna Dwiggins, Beverly Conley, Carol Wonick, Adrian Elkin, who died in the past months. Are there others whose names you wish to mention?
Margot Vina,
Marie Tucker,
Christian Walling, my mother.
My mother, Marion Collins.
Barbara Tomei, Danielle.
I now invite those who are joining us remotely to say the names of those that they would like to remember out loud. I'd like to add the name of Celia Appel, who died 29 years ago. And the pulpit robe that I'm wearing was her last gift to me for ordination. So I now invite those who are mourning and those whose custom it is to do so to please rise for Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, Be'alma nivra pirtei v'yamim malchutei, v'chayachon v'yamikon v'chayei l'kol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman karev yivru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah levarach le'olam amen amen. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalel v'yitalal shmei v'kudshav v'richu, Le'ela min kol v'yitachah neshirata, v'yishachata v'nechamacha, da'miram be'alma v'yivru, amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayir aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yivru, amen. Oseh shalom v'ramah, hu Yaseh Shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yamru. Amen. Please be seated. It's a pretty raucous group, but are there any guests who are willing to stand up and introduce themselves? This is your first time at Cabot. You picked a great time to come. Excellent night. Great choice. Anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Yes.
I am a guest. I am David's mother.
Bruchim habayim. Welcome. Brucha haba. Welcome. Anyone else? Yes.
My name is James. I'm Ethan's friend. Kind of in the conversion process. I come from Portland, Oregon.
There we go. Welcome, James. Anyone else? Okay, so believe it or not, if it's Purim, we are 1 month away from Passover. Okay, that's just how this works. If it's Purim, we are 1 month away from Passover. Look for an email on Sunday. There's an email coming to you on Sunday that has a comprehensive list of everything Passover related for Cabby. All of it. There is something for everybody, something for every age, something for every pillar on this list for Passover. I can't even give you the whole list because it would take too long. Open your emails, please. I know we get so many emails, but I really want you to know things like you could have a chance to make your own Seder plate, or I'm teaching a class coming up that's going to be a tour of the Passover Seder, designed for people who are newbies and people who are just looking for something fun to add to their Passover Seder. Open your email. Can't say it enough. Also, there is a student becoming B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow morning. Keep that in mind. If you want to know what time, check your email. I'm going to say that a lot. Okay, we are going to conclude in your prayer book with, hang on, where did it go? Page 673. 673. Chapurim, Gadol Yehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Shiru Rikudim, Havanerisha, Rash, Havanerisha, Rash, Havanerisha, Rash, Parashanim, Chapurim, Gadol Yehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Shiru Rikudim, Havanerisha, Rash, Havanerisha, Havanerisha, Rash, Parashanim. Before I say Shabbat Shalom, a reminder that we will do Motzi and Kiddush in the social hall, and I'm positive that there is hamantaschen and pie left over after this. I'm positive that you didn't demolish all of it. So join us all over the, oh, wait, stop. Thank you so much to my fellow Bohemian Rhapsody musicians.